Hello guys, this is take 2. I'm starting out 2026 with a bang. I was doing my Facebook Live before I turned my Bluetooth off, and so there was no audio. And thank goodness Barb saw it and found it. So I will start over. We are using a cute stamp set today called Valentine Kisses. It's a bundle from the online exclusives. These bears are the absolute cutest. They're little cute Valentine's bears with wings and hearts, but also we have these adorable birds, a teddy bear, a little flower, a pot, all the cutest sentiments for Valentine's Day, and a fun set of dies. Okay, and we're going to show you the special thing about this die, all right? And the other thing we're using today, well, I might mention that my name is Cogbill. My business is Paper Made Prettier. And I do live videos every Wednesday at 1 o'clock. This is that weird week between Christmas and New Year's where you don't know like what day it is and what time it is. So it's 3:10 on a Thursday. Oh, I'm so glad you can hear me and see me, Barb. What a bonus. Okay. I had accidentally left my headphones plugged in, and so that doesn't work. We're using this designer paper called Made with Love. This will be available starting January the 6th to people that are customers but not happy shoppers. So if you want to get your hands on these newest products every time they launch, you need to go ahead and be a happy shopper because you can order these ahead of time. But they're still available, so that's great. And we are using this Country Woods designer paper. So we have started with a pecan pie base. This is a cherry cobbler layer that's 5 by 3 3/4. Then this little piece of designer paper is 3 by 4 7/8. And then this little strip of Country Woods is 3/4 by 4 7/8. So we've got that all done. And then you're going to stamp 4 things on some basic white paper. You're going to stamp this little bear, the 2 birds. I love that they're going different directions. And then this little, what do you call it? Flower bouquet. All right, so lucky for you, I started over, and so I've already done that. This is where we realized that no one could hear me. So we've stamped and then lined up our dies with that stamped area using some Post-it note tape. Now let me grab, I don't have the top layer of my emboss machine here for some reason. All right, so let's give that a cut. I don't know if you've eaten your black-eyed peas today, but don't forget, that's good luck going into the new year. I made some black-eyed pea dip, which I love, but also our daughter-in-law, Reggie, is from Mexico, and she introduced us to the 12 grapes tradition. And you eat 12 grapes at midnight, and you make 12 wishes. That was a lot of wishes, you know. So I was excited to do that. And by the way, grapes are way better than black-eyed peas. So you might want to start that tradition in your family. But, all right. So we've got all these little cutouts. We've got 2 birds, a bear, and a flower arrangement. So I've got some blending markers, and we are going to start with our pecan pie to color our little bear. Also, Hope did my nails yesterday. I was very excited. Oh, good, Barb. Yeah, don't make sure and don't miss those black-eyed peas because we've got to be awesome in the new year. All right, so we're going to color this bear in with pecan pie first. I'm going to use my light pecan pie, and I'm not going to be careful because I'm going to be going back over it. We're just getting a layer of light pecan pie on our bear all around. I just, honestly, when we had our sale a few weeks ago on all the blending markers, I replaced a few of my blends, and is it not wacky that 3 out of the 4 pairs that I replaced were the ones that I'm using today. So good that I did. These markers are only $11 per pair, which is a great deal compared to like super fancy Copic markers, I think is what they're called. So these are a great affordable way to learn to color, and also they match all of our colors in our color scheme. Stampin' Up, I think, probably has 48 main core colors, or total colors. And pecan pie is really precious for animals, so I'm happy to use it. So we've got a layer of light pecan pie on him. And honestly, I would be fine with that and probably just move on. One for each month. Okay, that's great, Barb. All right, now we're going to come in and just give it some detail with the darker pecan pie. I'm going to go into his like feet area, around the edge here. And let's go in where his arm, kind of like where things bend. There's no magic to this really. And I do think I'm going to go over the top part of his ear with this. All right, and then what we're going to do is use our light marker to come in and smooth out that area between the light and the dark marker. So, and then it looks weird until it dries. And then we're going to just go in and put one more layer. But it really gives it a blended look. And then this last layer, it's kind of like when you're doing your nails and you can do one coat versus 2 coats. It really does bring it out really well when you take the time and patience to go and do a couple coats. See the shading there is so cute. I am usually a pretty fast crafter, so I don't always go to the trouble to do that. But I thought today, since it was New Year's, we would go fancy and do some fancy coloring. So now we've got nice and blended bear. He's adorable. Okay, the last thing we're going to do is color in his little facial area with some crumb cake. Like, I probably would have gone light on that, but I went dark, which is fine. And then I'm going to use light crumb cake for his ears here. Just because, I mean, his inside of his ears are obviously not white. So, now he's an adorable little bear. Now, these little birds we're going to color with Flirty Flamingo. Because that's what's in that designer paper. So I'm going to give him a little Flirty Flamingo area. Ooh, he's tiny. And then I'm going to color his wing with Daffodil Delight. I might mention I got the idea for this card from my talented friend, Amy Conders. She has the cutest projects. So she used a different designer paper. It was also cute. I'll show you. She used this one called Country Woods. No, sorry, Timeless Plaid. So that was also a great alternative there. And now the last thing we have is our little flower bunch. And we're going to color the flowers with Cherry Cobbler. Ooh, get your glasses on because this is teeny. Cherry Cobbler. So I'm going to do all the flowers Cherry Cobbler, and be careful because there are some leaves in there. We're going to color those a different color. The inside of the flower, we're going to color it with Daffodil Delight. And then we're going to color the leaves with Granny Apple. Any green will do, but I tend to love Granny Apple. I think it pops pretty well there. And then I'm going to go into these stripes on my bouquet, and I'm going to do Cherry Cobbler and Flirty Flamingo since we have a Valentine's bouquet. You could do whatever you want, but I think that kind of Draws on the paper pretty cute. Oh, that's adorable. Okay, so now we have all of our pieces. And now Cherry Cobbler. Haha, thank you, Barb. I was pretty proud of my nails because I don't always do my nails. And I know y'all know because you watch my fingers every week. But I'm just not a patient person when it comes to stuff like that. So I'm hoping that they stay painted for a long time. Let us stick our cute little bear down. Now we're gonna shift him over to the right. He's gonna be standing on his little platform here, and he comes bearing gifts. So what I didn't show you is when you use this die, it leaves like a little section to where it actually, like, I don't know if you can see that, but it cuts between his hands and that. So it makes a little cut area between his arms and his body. Just perfect for the flower bouquet. Is that not adorable? So we're just going to put a little adhesive on that and then tuck that in. I'm actually going to go this way with it, maybe. And then it's going to be coming out the top, but also poking out the bottom. So we did cover up some of it, but so adorable. And then I've got just a little die cut from Nested Essentials. And I'm using the stamp that says, sending lots of love your way to celebrate this special day. And I'm going to stamp that in Early Espresso. That's one of my favorite sentiment stamps. You could also use Cherry Cobbler, but I don't know why I tend towards the Early Espresso when I'm doing a sentiment. So, ta-da! And we are going to pop this right behind here. Like so. Okay. And I'm actually just going to stick that straight down. And slide it behind my little bear. Now, we've got these adorable little creatures, little birds, and we are going to pop those up with mini, M-I-N-I, dimensionals. And I'm going to pop the backing off of here. And these little guys are going to go around our sentiment. If they don't make this card, I mean, the card was cute enough without them, but it does kind of push it over the cuteness overload button. And then the last thing I'm going to use also in the online exclusives are these earthy matte dots. And I'm going to use these pecan pie ones. And we're just going to put a couple of pecan pie, what do you call these? Embellishments on my pretty card. And that is Valentine Kisses bundle. You need to put that in your cart. It is an online exclusive, so it's currently available. Mark your calendar for January the 6th when you can order this Valentine designer series paper called Made with Love. Thank you, Barb. And I'll remind you that when you order $75 or more from me, you're going to get the 12 Days of Advent tutorials. So all 12 projects that I made with the 12 Days of Advent calendar, those pretty spring projects. And don't forget, when you spend $75 or more, you get the product of the month for just $5. And I don't know, I've got the card. Yes. So this card features the product of the month. It's some gorgeous blue designer series paper, and only $5 when you purchase that. It looks like it got stuck to another card here, but that's something you don't want to miss out on. All right, guys, Happy New Year. I'm so glad to bring in 2026 with you and can't wait for 52 weeks of crafting in 2026. All right, bye.